Hey guys, Melissa here. I want to share with you all how it went. I'm still waking up. Just got my exercise done. Very sick this morning. I actually had caught something and didn't realize that. Um, I hit the sack early last night and slept throughout the whole night after a nap to catch up on my health. So, I just want to share how amazing it was for me this weekend to go to a pro-life conference and to compete for nonprofit money. It was just absolutely amazing. It was a fantasy, a dream come true. It really was. And I think about how I got to Colorado on accident, and I was sharing this with some of the ladies about what happened and how I really didn't plan on staying here. It was just going to be a short-term situation where I could figure some things out from here. And then lo and behold, I ended up staying long enough to compete. So, a lot of times things happen in our lives that we do not plan, and it's okay. So even that goes into pregnancy, right? Who says you have to plan your pregnancy? You don't have to do that. When you have a unexpected pregnancy, it's actually a gift from God. So don't feel like you have to have everything planned in life. I don't know why we do that. So, so I killed it, guys. I killed it. I mean, I seriously wanted to kick butt, and I did. So I am very proud of myself. Did I win? I don't know. But did I go the distance? Yeah, I went the distance. We won't know for a little while. I went the distance. I was like, you know, it was intense. Getting up early, don't even worry about how I'm dressed. Just get over there. Just show up. Make sure I'm on time. Get over there. Have, 5 classes a day that are filled with, Friday, Saturday were both filled with a lot of information because they want you to build your nonprofit well. And there were people there already who had a nonprofit, but I felt very fortunate for me, like another nonprofit that had won before, to be able to shape my nonprofit before, before I actually have one. I was able to use all the resources to help me to shape this. So I sat front seat, very studious. I am extremely studious, paid attention to every little detail, took notes in detail because I wanted the notes from the class versus waiting until it's available, later in video. Took notes, participated, very involved. And so Friday night when we all went out, we went to a nice, restaurant. I got to talk to a lady who, her idea was making t-shirts for pro-life. Just amazing ideas. Another lady, a maternity home for women. We were able to collaborate. We're going to keep in touch. Another couple women have like a box so that when you have a loss, whether it's abortion or miscarriage, you have like a memory box for your baby. I liked that idea. Another lady had a museum she's starting up or she's part of where people can go to a museum and actually see what an abortion is. Because when we talk about abortion, a lot of people don't know what it is. There was already a lady who had already her nonprofit with helping people recover from abortion. There was one lady talking about a woman's identity. Her identity is not in what the world sells. So just, amazing stuff, helping women, college age, be able to have their children, have housing, etc. So like I said in one of my videos, the competition was tough. It was tough. But for me, when I walked, I prayed to God each morning, Friday and Saturday, just extra time to pray. Sunday morning prayer, I almost didn't get there because the buses run different on Sunday. So I had to call for a ride, got over there on time. I hate being late. So as we heard someone yesterday, which was just amazing to see what she's doing. She had one a few years back, and what she did, she's a go-getter. She had set up a place for people who have children with different disabilities, excuse me, and she helps them set up, what they need to have their baby. It's hard enough to think of having, like, just having a child, right? And then to think, okay, this baby is going to be disabled and this is what I need. It's overwhelming. How do I do this or how do I do that? And she helps with that. And many doctors, we talked after about how many doctors, I think she was saying the New York Times has an article, like a certain percentage, I don't want to say 99%, but a high percentage of those diagnoses in the womb are wrong. They're wrong. They're not even true. So the first thing the doctors do is say, let's abort with a disabled baby, right? And it's, she's just there for women in so many ways. Families who have lost their babies to a disability, just amazing. So, so we were inspired by her. We heard another testimony of adoption, which is amazing. We can definitely think as women, if you're pregnant, like, why would I want to give up my baby, and have someone else call that woman mother when I'm the mother, etc. So there's some insecurities for teens. But when you think of the child, think of how adoption can be beautiful. It's not like from 1960 where you get pregnant and you have to go to a maternity home and you have all this old stuff to deal with. If you have an unexpected pregnancy, there is a ton of help out there. And even with adoption, it can be open-ended where you can see your child. It's a beautiful thing to do for your child. So, as I prepared, yesterday I was up like 4:30 in the morning and I was preparing my presentation. Before I knew it, time got away from me and I'm like, geez, I gotta go, I gotta get going. I had done some stuff the night before. Yesterday, when we had a break before we had our presentation, I had done some stuff and I had gotten all my notes together from the classes and I kind of wanted to incorporate that, but I just didn't have enough time. And one of the most important things that I learned this weekend was to shake it down. Shake down whatever vision you have, shake it down to the most simplest terms, the most simplest factor, and really just try to get to the point. Because, someone was talking about how one nonprofit, I forget the name of it, Richard's book or something, had like a book of this is what we do, this is what our vision is, and they didn't even know it because it was so long. And a lot of pregnancy centers fail or nonprofits fail because they don't have the foundation right. So it was just amazing for me to see that. So up until lunch, I took a break. I had lunch there. My whole weekend was taken care of with food and, just amazing food. They did a great job there. But I had, up until lunch, after lunch, I took some time to prepare too. And, some of the ladies had already gone and I asked how it went. And I had a lady nice enough to say, do you need to bounce, some stuff off me? And I'm like, well, no, but thank you. I already had a couple people I bounced things off. And another lady's like, Melissa, are you prepping right now? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. So I was prepping. I really wanted to give it my best shot. Even if I don't win, I know that I gave it my best. So I was talking to somebody and then I was called in and I went in and, I said hi to everyone and I said thank you for having me here, So I really felt honored. I really did to be selected. They select certain people. They invite only a selective few to compete. So my idea was good enough to compete. So I'm proud of that. I am very proud of that. I am very proud of myself. I am thrilled. Um, work called me in today and I said I'm gonna, they asked if I wanted to work today. I'm on the schedule for tomorrow and I'm like, I'm gonna pass today because, I just said I'm gonna pass. But I wanted some time today to reflect on everything that happened. I feel like I was in a dream. I feel like it was a dream come true. I actually, when I was done, I was like, oh my goodness, what did you just do, Melissa? What did you do? Um, so I went in, I shared my idea. I didn't do, PowerPoint. I'm like, I'm just going to read this. There's so much here. I'm just going to, I had 15 minutes. I'm going to get right to the point. I'm going to skim through this and I'm going to get to the bottom line quickly. So, what I did was I shared my abortion. I shared my testimony. I shared how God has used me, um, after the homeschooling to not only take a post-abortive class, but to be on the sidewalks, a couple stories of what I've seen. I shared how I have spoken at the New Hampshire State House, given testimony with my abortion and against a couple bills. Um, I shared about what I do now, how I volunteer, some of the ideas I've seen when I call pregnancy centers. And then I gave my vision. I gave what my idea is, and I'm going to talk about that later. I'm not going to talk about that now. But I gave a very bottom line, this is what it's going to look like. So then I had, it was a panel of 5. One of the ladies had just talked at the Supreme Court to stand for life, and I was impressed with being able to talk, to somebody who's been in the pro-life movement for a long time, some of the greatest minds over there. I was able to get a question and answer panel where they asked me some questions. I was more nervous sharing my testimony than I was answering the questions. So there were good questions. So, whew, I mean, I did it. I had confidence when I answered the questions, and then I got a round of applause, and one of the leading ladies, like, great job, Melissa, awesome job, very, very encouraging. She was just like, great job. So, I mean, I do feel like from the reaction of the panel that I've got like a 99% chance of winning. I really kicked it. I kicked butt and I was extremely focused. I was extremely zoomed in, even socially. I did connect with people, but I was very focused on one not giving all my ideas away, but being supportive and offering some advice to other people, networking and making sure who I shared my advice, my questions with, and who I got advice from. Because I hate to say it, but you do have to be careful, when you're competing, of who you say things to. So I did have, some professionals to talk to. One person was like, I mean, I have so many resources at my fingertips now, not only for that, but for my channel now. Um, Technology hasn't been my biggest thing, so I have at my fingertips a guy who, 20 years of experience knowing the internet. I have that. So I got to talk to him, and I started my website on Wix, and he's like, don't go with Wix, don't go with Wix, go with WordPress. WordPress, you're going to have a lot of plugins. So that, I mean, right there, that was a huge amount of advice. We talked about iPassword, we talked about some of the techie stuff out there. So, I mean, I have at my fingertips to get help with my logo, just everything I would need to have a visual identity. So I will be doing some things over as I learn, and just amazing people over there, absolutely amazing. So I just feel like one of my dreams came true, honestly. I went the distance. It kind of felt like when I was in high school and I graduated early. I had to have a plan, right? I had to basically tell them, how are you going to graduate early? And I didn't use my guidance counselor ever, right? But when I wanted to graduate early, maybe 2 visits, and I'm like, this is what I'm going to do. Okay, can you show me a plan? Here it is. I'm going to use study hall to catch up on, you know, anything I need to do. I'm going to get enough credits by using these classes, and this is how I'm going to do it. So that's how, I do have a head for business. I don't know how, but I do. And I'm going to be, I've started a business class. I'm going to be in the business world, in the nonprofit world more. So they did ask me what would I do with this money, and I gave them, my answers of how I would spend it. And so, whew, I'm just today taking it easy. I've got laundry and groceries to do and catch up on the messes around here, but I cannot tell you. It's kind of like when I had, not only when I graduated early, but when I homeschooled, and then, the big milestones in my life when I decided to homeschool and then to home birth. After I home birthed, I was like, my body was just, I'm just like, your body is absolutely amazing, to be able to do this. So when you have those kind of victories in life, you're just like, wow, you go out there, you don't know if you can do it. It's just such a confidence builder. When I got the invitation, I was like, oh wow, this is so cool. But as I got over there, you learn this, and you're like, holy cow, I got to step back some more, or reel it in some more, or wait a minute, I didn't know this, so I need to back up some more, and so you're constantly, when you do something like this, your mind is changing. And I'm just glad I didn't have, something in stone yet, because it's good to be teachable, and it's good to say, wait a minute, I do need these rocks in place before I get going. So it's been a slow process for me with getting this going. I had a friend who was thinking of starting a nonprofit with the homeless to help them. So this was kind of the beginning of thinking of a nonprofit for me. And yeah, you can go online and you can start your nonprofit, but it would have taken me so long. I mean, it would have been, I would have had to use my personal time to, the resources out there are not as good as this. So I am just thrilled, and just wanted to share that with everyone. I will let you know, obviously, if I won. I'm not betting on it, but I do have a good chance of winning. So I'll be sharing more resources for pro-life on here. I will be sharing more things we can do, more ways we can battle this, and help women be able to succeed, because abortion is a failure message. It's, you're too young, you can't do this, you don't know how, you can't. It's a negative emotion, a negative message and emotion to women. As you can tell, I don't script my stuff, I just talk. So it's not the can do attitude. You can do it. There are so many resources out there. So I will be talking about this more. And yeah, thanks for joining me, guys. This is a longer video, but I felt like I wanted to do justice to how much this meant to me this weekend. It was absolutely amazing. Oop, I think my phone is stuck again. One of the things I'm going to do that was recommended, get a computer. Get a computer. Instead of like having all my stuff on my phone and then having to erase it.